They planned a 2-week luxury vacation without me. The group chat lit up with villa photos, spa packages, and a 17-day itinerary. Everyone was invited. My parents, my sister, my brother, even my brother's girlfriend. Everyone except me. When I asked why, my mother said it was for immediate family only. I guess I didn't qualify. 3 weeks later, I walked into that same resort lobby. The manager looked up, smiled, and said, "Welcome back, owner." My family was standing right behind me. Their faces went white. Want to know how the black sheep ended up owning the family's dream vacation? Stay with me. And real quick, drop a comment. Where are you watching from and what time is it there? Hit that like button too. You're going to want to remember where you heard this story. Let me take you back 6 years. I grew up in a family of overachievers. My dad managed a hedge fund. My sister became a surgeon. My brother landed in tech. And me? I checked people into hotel rooms. At family dinners, my parents would introduce my siblings with pride. Olivia just finished her residency. Marcus closed a Series A round. Then they'd get to me and the energy would just drop. And this is Emily. She works at a hotel. Not in hospitality. Not in property management. At a hotel. Like I was handing out towels. After college, I moved 3 states away. I worked the graveyard shift at a boutique inn. I ran revenue reports. I learned how to read occupancy curves and negotiate supplier contracts. I was exhausted. But I was learning. Then I met Carlos. He owned a small chain of bed and breakfasts. He saw something in me my family never did. He said, "Hospitality isn't service work, Emily. It's real estate with room keys." He taught me how to spot distressed properties, how to buy low and renovate smart. At 28, I bought my first property. A foreclosed bed and breakfast no bank wanted. I didn't tell my family. I kept every document, every LLC filing, every performance review, every bank statement. Not for revenge, for proof. Over 5 years, I bought 2 more properties. And then, 8 months ago, I bought the resort. I still didn't tell them. I didn't think I'd ever need to. 3 months ago, the family group chat exploded. My parents were celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary. They wanted to do something big. A 2-week trip to a luxury beachfront resort. All expenses paid. The itinerary came through. Spa days, private dinners, snorkeling excursions. I waited for my invite. It never came. I finally asked, "Hey, what are the dates again? Want to make sure I can get the time off?" My mother replied first. "Oh, sweetie." We decided to keep it small. Just the 4 of us. Immediate family. You understand? I stared at that message for a long time. My brother chimed in next. "No offense, Em, but it's kind of pricey. We didn't want you to feel awkward." My sister sent me a private message an hour later. "Honestly, you'd hate it anyway. It's all cocktail dresses and golf. Not really your scene." Not my scene. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just typed, "Got it. Have fun." Then I opened my property management app. I scrolled to the guest reservations for April. And there it was. Bernard family party, presidential suite, 14 nights. The resort they booked? Isla Paraíso. The same resort I had bought in a silent auction 8 months earlier. They didn't know. They had no idea. I sat there staring at the screen, my heart pounding. They were coming to my resort, and they had no clue I owned it. My first instinct was to cancel their reservation. Just delete it. Make them scramble. Make them feel what I felt. But I hesitated. I pulled up the acquisition documents. Isla Paraíso. Purchase price, $4.2 million. I'd leveraged everything. My other properties. A personal guarantee on the note. My cash flow was tight. And for a moment, that old voice crept back in. The voice that said maybe they were right. Maybe I was just lucky. Maybe I didn't really belong at their table. Maybe they'd see through me. I checked my bank balance. Then I checked the loan amortization schedule. The numbers were real. But so was the doubt. My cursor hovered over the cancel reservation button. One click and they'd be scrambling to find another resort in peak season. But I couldn't do it, because part of me still wanted their approval. Part of me still felt like the kid at the dinner table nobody introduced with pride. I closed the laptop. Then my phone buzzed. A text from Jessica, the resort manager. Owner, the VIP arrival is scheduled for next week. Do you want the usual briefing call? I stared at that word. Owner, not employee. Not front desk girl, owner. And something in me shifted. I opened my laptop again. This time I didn't hover over cancel. I opened my financial folder. The one I never showed anyone. I clicked on the portfolio summary my wealth manager sent every quarter. There it was. 8 properties across 4 states. Total asset valuation, $18.3 million. Total debt, $9.1 million. Net worth, $9.2 million. I sat back. My sister, the surgeon, had just posted on social media about her signing bonus. $320,000. She posted it like it was a lottery win. I had $9.2 million in net worth, and I'd never said a word. I took a screenshot of the portfolio summary. I didn't send it to anyone. I just saved it, because in that moment I realized something. I didn't need to prove anything to them, but I needed to prove it to myself. They didn't exclude me because I was failing. They excluded me because I was the mirror they didn't want to look into. They needed me to be small so they could feel big. I closed the laptop. I texted Jessica back. Let them come. Let them have their family vacation. I'll be watching. I didn't tell her I'd be there in person. Not yet. The family arrived at Isla Paraíso on a Thursday afternoon. By Thursday evening, Jessica was emailing me. Your family is challenging. Do you want me to flag their account? I asked her to send details. What came back made my blood boil. My brother had demanded a free room upgrade because the ocean view wasn't oceany enough. My mother had criticized the housekeeping staff to their faces, loud enough that other guests complained. My sister posted an Instagram story. I saw it because a friend sent it to me. The story was a photo of her mimicking a yawn with the caption, 5-star resort? More like 3. Staff can't even get a dinner reservation right. She tagged the resort. Then my father tried to negotiate a 40% refund, retroactively. He told the front desk he knew the owner and could get them fired if they didn't comply. He didn't know the owner, but I did. Jessica sent another email on Saturday. Guest in Suite 12 just left a 1-star Google review. Mid-stay. Do I respond or wait for you? I stared at that email. I could end this with one phone call. Or I could let them keep digging. Then Jessica sent a final message. They've requested a meeting with management tomorrow at 4 p.m. They want to escalate their complaints formally. What do you want me to do? I checked flights. Then I replied, I'll take the meeting myself. I'll be there by 3. I didn't explain. I just booked the ticket. On the plane, I pulled up the files. First, the acquisition deed. Isla Paraíso Resort. Purchased by Crescent Hospitality LLC. Managing member, Emily Bernard. Closing date, January 12, 2024. Purchase price, $4.2 million. Cash plus finance note. The title was clean. The property was mine. Then I opened the email thread from Jessica. She'd been documenting everything. Day 2. Guest J. Bernard made housekeeper Maria cry after accusing her of moving a suitcase. Housekeeper followed protocol. Guest yelled for 10 minutes. Day 3. Guest M. Bernard accused bartender Kwame of theft. Claimed a bottle of rum was missing from the villa. Bottle was never ordered. Security reviewed footage. No theft occurred. Guest did not apologize. Day 4. Guest S. Bernard demanded the concierge Lily be terminated for a scheduling mix-up. The mix-up was caused by a system error on our end. We had already comped the experience. Guest still demanded termination. 3 days. 4 staff members. All of them people I employed. People I was responsible for protecting. I sat back in my seat. They didn't just exclude me. They disrespected people under my care. People who couldn't fight back. That changed everything. The meeting was at 4. I'd be there at 3:45. I had an hour before we landed. I did something I hadn't done in months. I searched my family online, my father's hedge fund, Bernard Capital Management. The most recent article was from 2 months ago. Bernard Capital sees assets under management decline 22% year over year amid market volatility. 22%. That was tens of millions in fees, gone. Then I searched my sister. Her medical group had been named in a malpractice lawsuit. The settlement was public record. $1.2 million. Her name wasn't directly listed, but the group was hers. Then my brother. His LinkedIn had a new post from 3 weeks ago. Excited to be meeting with Series B investors. That's startup code for we're running out of money. I sat back. The pieces fell into place. This vacation wasn't a celebration. It was a performance. Content for social media. Proof that everything was fine. They didn't exclude me because I was unsuccessful. They excluded me because I might see through the illusion. I was the one person who could have asked the wrong questions. So they kept me out. The cruelty wasn't random. It was self-preservation. They needed someone to look down on so they wouldn't have to look at themselves. I almost felt sorry for them. Almost. Then I remembered Maria, Kwame, Lily. The plane landed. I didn't want revenge. I wanted boundaries. On the drive from the airport, I wrote out the plan in my notes app. 1. Attend the meeting as the owner. Let them see me. 2. Present the incident reports. Let them hear what they did. 3. Offer a choice. Apologize to every staff member they disrespected, in writing, or check out immediately with no refund. 4. Enforce the boundary. Either way, I sent the plan to Jessica. I'll take the meeting myself. Have the incident reports printed. Keep hotel counsel on standby in case they escalate. Stay professional. She replied in under a minute. Understood. I'll have everything ready. I stopped at a red light and looked at myself in the rearview mirror. I was wearing a simple blazer. My hair was tied back. I looked like someone who belonged in that room. Because I did. Not because of the deed in my bag. Because I'd earned it. The light turned green. I drove to the resort. It was 2:15. I had an hour and 45 minutes. I parked in the owner's reserved spot. The one with my name on it. I walked through the employee entrance. Jessica met me in the hallway. She handed me a folder. Inside were the printed incident reports. The deed, my business card. I took a breath. Let's go. 4 p.m. The conference room was small, neutral, a long table with water glasses. My family sat on one side. My father looked annoyed. My mother looked impatient. My sister was on her phone. My brother was leaning back in his chair like he owned the place. The door opened. Jessica walked in first, then me. My brother saw me first. Why is she here? My father turned. His face went from confusion to recognition to something I'd never seen before. Fear. I sat down across from them. I folded my hands on the table. Hi, Dad, Mom, Marcus, Olivia. My mother tried to smile. Sweetheart, what are you doing here? I looked at Jessica. She nodded. I spoke clearly. I own this resort. Jessica said you wanted to escalate some concerns to management. So here I am. Silence. My sister's mouth opened. Nothing came out. I slid the first piece of paper across the table. This is an incident report from April 15th. I looked at my mother, made housekeeper Maria cry. You accused her of moving your luggage. She followed protocol. You yelled at her for 10 minutes in front of other guests. My mother's face went red. That was a misunderstanding. I slid the second paper. April 16th. Marcus, you accused bartender Kwame of stealing a bottle of rum. Security reviewed the footage. No theft occurred. You didn't apologize. My brother sat up. That's not... I slid the third. April 17th. Olivia, you demanded we fire concierge Lily for a scheduling error that was our fault. We had already comped your experience. You still demanded her termination. My sister put her phone down. We're your family. You made that clear. I said. Immediate family only. Remember? My father leaned forward. He used his deal-making voice. Sweetheart, this is all just a big miscommunication. Let's not blow this out of proportion. I didn't blink. Here's what's going to happen. You have two options. Option 1, you write a personal, handwritten apology to Maria, Kwame, and Lily. You deliver them in person. You finish your stay, and we never speak of this again. I paused. Option 2, you check out now. No refund, per the cancellation policy you signed. My brother laughed. It sounded hollow. You can't do that. We'll sue. I gestured to the corner of the room. A woman in a gray suit stood up. This is Rebecca. Hotel counsel. Rebecca, can you speak to the enforceability of our service standards clause? Rebecca nodded. Section 9.2. Guests who engage in abusive behavior toward staff may be removed at management's discretion. No refund. My brother's laugh died. My sister tried one last time. Emily, we're family. I met her eyes. You wrote the rules, Olivia. I'm just following them. My father and mother exchanged a look. Then my father spoke quietly. We'll write the apologies. My brother stood up. I'm not doing this. My sister stood too. This is insane. I looked at Jessica. Comp my parents' meals for the rest of their stay. Standard checkout for the other two. My siblings walked out. My parents stayed. I stood. Jessica will bring you stationery. Take your time. I left the room. Jessica walked beside me. She said, that was the most professional takedown I've ever seen. I shook my head. It wasn't a takedown. It was a boundary. My parents wrote the apologies. 3 handwritten letters. 1 to Maria, 1 to Kwame, 1 to Lily. Jessica told me later that my father cried when he handed Maria hers. My mother couldn't look Kwame in the eye. The staff accepted the apologies. But the trust was gone. My siblings never apologized. Olivia blocked me on Instagram that night. Marcus sent an email to my business address a week later. Subject line, lawyer. The body of the email was 2 sentences. You humiliated us. Expect to hear from our attorney. My lawyer replied with 1 line. Noted. No further action required. We never heard from them again. 6 months passed. My parents reached out in October. My dad asked if we could meet for coffee. I said yes. We met at a cafe halfway between us. Neutral ground. My father spoke first. We didn't see you, Emily. We should have. My mother nodded. We were wrong. I didn't need them to grovel. I just needed them to see me. I said, you see me now. That's enough. For now. We meet every few months. It's civil. It's boundaried. It's not what it was. But it's something. My siblings and I haven't spoken. I'm at peace with that. The resort is thriving. Maria, the housekeeper my mother yelled at? She's head of housekeeping now. Kwame, the bartender my brother accused? He manages the entire beach bar. It just won an award. Lily, the concierge my sister tried to get fired? She's training as assistant manager. I'm helping pay for her graduate program at Cornell. I also established something new. The Staff Dignity Fund. Any guest who abuses staff is permanently banned. No exceptions. No refunds. It's in writing. It's on the website. We've banned 4 guests so far. 0 regrets. I used to think I needed my family's approval to matter. I used to think that being excluded meant I wasn't enough. But here's what I know now. You can't control who underestimates you. You can only control what you build while they're not looking. I didn't need a seat at their table. I built my own. So here's my question for you. If you owned that resort, would you have let them stay or kicked them out on day 1? Honest answers only. Drop your take in the comments. And if you've ever been the black sheep who became the goat, hit that subscribe button. I've got more stories about people who turned rejection into power. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for listening. One last thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes. It's not legal, financial, or professional advice. All scenarios are illustrative. But the lesson? That's real. Build your own table.